our unique capacity for self-sabotage. Despite being the most cognitively advanced species on Earth, this comparison to trees is particularly striking because it illuminates how we've somehow complicated what should be natural, the drive to reach our fullest expression. A tree embodies pure potential in action. From the moment a seed takes root, every fiber of its being is oriented toward one magnificent obsession, becoming everything it was designed to be. An oak doesn't question whether it deserves to grow tall. A fruit tree doesn't suffer from imposter syndrome about producing apples. There's no internal committee debating whether it's worthy of sunlight, for whether its roots have permission to spread. The tree's relationship with growth is beautifully uncomplicated. It doesn't compare itself to the redwood next to it, or feel inadequate because the cherry tree blooms more spectacularly. It simply grows relentlessly, consistently, without apology. When conditions are favorable, it expands. When they're harsh, it endures. When it's time to fruit, it produces abundantly, not holding back some secret reserve just in case. Humans, by contrast, are masters of the internal civil war. We possess the extraordinary gift of consciousness, yet we use it to create elaborate obstacles to our own flourishing. We develop fears of success that are as paralyzing as fears of failure. We convince ourselves we're not ready, not worthy, not enough, even as we simultaneously dream of becoming more. Consider how a tree approaches challenges. Drought doesn't make it question its right to exist. It simply grows deeper roots. Wind doesn't convince it to stop reaching upward. It develops stronger bark and more flexible branches. Seasonal changes don't trigger existential crises. They're simply part of the natural rhythm of growth and rest. But humans, we interpret challenges as evidence of our inadequacy. We see obstacles as signs we should quit rather than signals to grow stronger. We mistake temporary seasons of difficulty for permanent statements about our worth. We've somehow learned to argue against our own potential with a sophistication that would be impressive if it weren't so destructive. The tree's wisdom lies in its complete acceptance of its nature and purpose. It doesn't try to be anything other than the fullest expression of what it is. An apple tree doesn't waste energy wishing it were a pine. It pours everything into being the most magnificent apple tree possible, growing as tall as its genetics and environment allow, producing fruit with generous abundance. This is where human complexity becomes both our greatest gift and our most significant burden. Our consciousness allows us to envision possibilities beyond our current reality, to dream of becoming more than we are. But that same consciousness also generates doubt, comparison, and the peculiar human tendency to sabotage the very growth we claim to want. We create stories about why we can't succeed before we've even tried. We develop sophisticated rationales for staying small. We convince ourselves that playing it safe is wisdom when it's often just fear wearing a disguise. We hold back our gifts, ration our efforts, and produce far less fruit than we're capable of bearing. The tree teaches us about the power of consistent, patient growth. It doesn't try to become fully mature overnight. It doesn't compare this year's growth to last year's and declare itself a failure. It simply adds another ring, extends its branches a little further, deepens its roots incrementally, year after year, season after season. It commits to the process of becoming. Perhaps our self-sabotage stems from our unique awareness of mortality and meaning. Unlike trees, we know our time is limited, which can create urgency that leads to paralysis. We're aware of judgment, which can make us self-conscious about our growth. We understand failure, which can make us hesitant to try. But what if we could learn from the tree's approach? What if we could grow with the same unwavering commitment to our potential? What if we could produce our fruit, our gifts, our contributions, our love with the same generous abundance, holding nothing back? The tree doesn't save its best growth for when conditions are perfect. It doesn't wait until it feels confident about its ability to photosynthesize. It doesn't postpone fruiting until it's sure someone will appreciate the harvest. It simply gives everything it has to the process of becoming fully itself. Human potential, unlike a tree's, isn't just about individual growth. Our fruit includes our creativity, our compassion, our ability to lift others, our capacity to solve problems and create beauty. When we sabotage our growth, we don't just limit ourselves, we deprive the world of what we might have contributed. The tree's example suggests that reaching our full potential isn't about perfection or comparison. It's about wholehearted commitment to growth, consistent effort toward our highest expression, and generous sharing of whatever fruit we're capable of producing. Perhaps the path forward isn't to eliminate our human complexity, but to channel it toward growth rather than what would it look like if we grew with a tree's determination and produced our gifts with a tree's abundance? Do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be updated for more inspiring content. You can also leave a comment and share the video so that we could reach and inspire more people. Thank you, and to God be all the glory.